To paraphrase the bard, though not the bard, something was happening here, and some people didn't know what it was. One persistent argument took on several forms. The most unabashed form consisted in arguing that a novelist should have received the prize, the novel being the highest literary form some could think of, even identifying it simply with literature, to the exclusion of all other genres, which were seen as minor or historical remnants of older stages in the evolution of literature. And this argument was usually proposed by people who had little or no literary training. Others complained of the injustice done to other authors, usually Philip Roth, Haruki Murakami, or Antonio Antunes, to whom the Syrian poet Adonis was then sometimes added, when in turn others complained to them that the previous three were all novelists. A curious explanation argued that this was an instance of postmodern relativism, of accepting into the fold of literature someone who, because he wrote songs, had traditionally been excluded from it. In literature and music, reaching as far back, at least as Homer and Sappho, as they put it. And this line of argument, while opposing an older, much older legitimizing tradition to a more recent one, revealed a considerable hiatus in terms of how literature has been conceived and challenged the alleged universality of what is literary. As we understand it nowadays, is a recent offshoot of Shakespearean historicism. And of course, as an idea, or already as a word, it already existed as a pejorative concept. Quite some time before new historicism made its appearance in Shakespeare studies in the early 1980s. David Hackett Fisher, the word presentism was actually formalized. He uses it, and came to designate a historical fallacy, consisting in cutting away from an account of the past those elements which did not contribute to form the present. I would now like to take my cue from another quotation by Eliot, the one which appears half-quoted on my title. There it is. The historical sense involves perception not only of the pastness of the past, but of its presence. And note how he separates and discontinues two qualities, two aspects of the past, its pastness from its presence. And my argument today is that there is no need for a link between the two. There is no need for universals or constants in discussing the presence of the past in the present. Such concepts, I argue, are actually harmful if we wish to keep in mind historical difference, since they postulate a dreary sameness that tends to erase all particularity.